What's up? I'm Raptor Ruckus. What I have here is my '07 Raptor 700, and by the end of this video, my machine is going to look completely different. So I know what you may be thinking, which is why switch up the look of this Raptor, right? It's looking pretty awesome how it currently sits. However, this machine is starting to age. It's about 17 years old and the plastics are starting to show some wear and tear. If we take a look at the front hood, we have a couple of zip ties holding the hood on because just about all of these tabs are broke. Under the front fender, the tab is completely snapped off. It's the same story on the other side. So these fenders, they kind of wobble quite a bit in the wind. The graphics kit is pretty cool, but it's a generic eBay kit I bought about 6 years ago, and it would be fun to do something a little bit more customizable. The graphics are also starting to peel up as well. And we are starting to get some stress marks, some scratches, which is to be expected with all the riding I do. So, like I said, not a bad looking machine how it currently sits. I do love the Yamaha blue, but I am so excited to switch it up and do something a little bit more customized. Back here we have the Big Gun dual exhaust system, and as I talked about in the last video, one of my exhaust mounts is broke, so we'll also be switching out these pipes, as well as doing quite a bit of powder coating. So I have these XFR Nerf guards, and they've definitely taken a beating over the last few years, so we'll be getting those powder coated. I'm thinking about getting the subframe powder coated, so we're digging deep. And we have this beautiful factory 43 bumper, but this will also get some paint on it as well. All right, it's time to get started. Let's go ahead and dive into this project, the transformation of my Raptor 700, and the first step is removing the stock plastics. So just like that, the old plastics are off, and they are off for good. Probably the easiest part of the process. I have to admit, it's a little bittersweet. You know, I've been rocking this look for a long time. It definitely identifies my Raptor, but I am so excited to change up the look and go with something that's more customized. I've actually already placed my order with Rocky Mountain ATV for a brand new set of Raptor 700 plastics. I will be going with a different color, so I'm excited to review that to you guys. But that's a wrap on step one. Moving on to step two, we start thinking about powder coating. So I have a set of XFR Nerf bars, currently black. Of course, they have a ton of rock chips in them. So I will be getting those powder coated a different color, not black. I also have this sweet factory 43 bumper, and that will be getting some paint. And then I have this Team Alba Racing grab bar on the rear, and I'll be getting powder coated as well. So let's go ahead and remove these parts as our next step. Alright guys, I have the mufflers off as well as the rear grab bar. And taking a closer look at this rear grab bar, yes, it is definitely bent. I'm worried that it might mess with my new plastics, so I'm going to go ahead and get it swapped out so there's no issues. Moving on, I made the executive decision to go ahead and powder coat my rear subframe as well as my center frame. So with the Raptor 700, the frame is made up of 3 different parts. You have the main frame, which is up front. This is made of steel. You have a center frame, which is aluminum, and then the rear subframe, which is aluminum. So I'm going to go ahead and get these 2 frames powder coated. This will stay black. The A-arms will be black. And I'm still debating what I want to do with the swing arm. I might get that powder coated, so stay tuned. But I think black and this other color I'm choosing, I think they're going to go well together. So I'm excited to see the end result and show you guys. So let's go ahead and dig into it. This is going to be pretty labor intensive. So first step is to let's get this gas tank off. All right, got the fuel tank off. It's quite dirty. I'll have to wipe it down before putting it back on. Moving on, I'm going to take off my FCI intake. This will give me better access to the subframe. So here we go. Alright, got my fuel customs intake removed. Moving on, I need to remove this battery box. And then from there, I should be able to take off my rear subframe. So I'm making progress. So now we get to the fun stuff. The primary goal is to remove the center subframe. But before I do that, I do need to remove the swing arm. And I did make the decision to go ahead and powder coat the swing arm. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it black or if I'm going to do it with the color I chose. But next, let's go ahead and get this axle out. This is actually a really good opportunity for me to do some other maintenance. So I noticed my brake rotor is warped, got too much heat, which makes sense because my brake pads are down to nothing, almost down to the metal. So I'll be replacing my rotor, get a new set of pads. I'm also going to install a new axle carrier with some fresh bearings. I normally do that once a year. I go through axle bearings pretty quick. So not only we are doing a facelift, but also some good old maintenance. All right, time for an update. Got the rear axle out. Went pretty smooth overall. If you are wondering, this is a plus 5-inch rear axle over stock. Got my brake rotor removed as well. Again, it's warped, so I'll be replacing that. So I'm making steady progress on removing the swing arm. So I need to take out a couple shock bolts as well as the main swing arm rod, and we should be able to pull this puppy off in no time. All right, there it is. The swing arm is off. Wasn't too bad, can't complain. Sometimes this swing arm bolt can get seized up and rusted, so this actually wasn't too bad. So the swing arm will be sent off for some powder coating. Before I do that though, I need to take out these bushings, and I'll get a new set of bushings whenever I put it back together. So if you take a look at the Raptor, it is cut in half. What a sight. I need to remove my center subframe. I'm going to get my cover, my cam cover powder coated as well. And then my front hubs will get powder coated. So getting close to the end when it comes to taking apart the Raptor. So let's get to it. I am done disassembling the Raptor. Serious question, I wonder which one weighs more currently. So the 1988 Honda TRX 250R stock weight is around 328 pounds. For the Raptor 700, stock weight is around 420 pounds. I bet it would be pretty close right now. But anyway, here are the parts I removed. All these parts would be getting powder coated. So we have my Nerf bars, cam cover, water pump cover, brake lever, handlebar clamps, swing arm, front hubs. Actually just got some new rear hubs, exhaust tips, rear subframe, center subframe, and the factory 43 bumper. The only part that's missing that's still in the mail is a new rear grab bar, and hopefully that'll be showing up soon. So all these parts will be getting powder coated. I'm so excited to show you what color I decided to go with. So stay tuned. And while we wait on these parts to get some powder, this gives me a good opportunity to clean up some parts that I normally don't have access to. So I'll be getting all these parts cleaned and shined up. And then over here on the Raptor, this also could use some TLC. So as you can see, the throttle body, the wiring harness, anything under the gas tank is pretty caked in dirt and mud. So I will attempt to clean this up to the best of my ability, as well as shining up the exhaust pipes. I want these big gun headers to look awesome. So I'll be working on that. Alright, it's time for a status update. I would say Operation Deep Clean was a success. I got the Raptor looking pretty good, and it gave me an opportunity to clean up some parts and areas that I normally don't have access to. I spent quite a bit of time cleaning up the wiring harness, throttle body, the back of the engine. Again, these are areas that I normally don't have the opportunity to clean up, so it feels good to get that done. It'll just make reassembly go a bit smoother and easier, as well as just helping the machine look even more fresh whenever I'm done with putting it all back together. I also cleaned up my rear Elka shock, airbox, radiator, so I got all those parts cleaned up. I will be working on shining up my headers as well. And I did receive some new parts, so I have a new sprocket hub as well as a new brake hub, rotors, carrier bearings, front wheel bearings. So we are getting all set. Oh man, today is an exciting day. We got the plastics in the mail. This includes the front and rear fenders as well as all the covers. So let's go ahead and dig into it and see what color choice I decide to go with. Well guys, I don't know about you, but I am so stoked about these plastics. As you can see, I didn't completely ditch the blue, but I did go with a much darker tone. A little bit of information about this set. This is from the 2014 Special Edition. It features a unique midnight blue front and rear fenders, and then it also has those black covers. What really draws my eye to this set is the metallic in the blue. It really pops in the sun. This is a pretty unique set of plastics. I believe it's the only year where both the front and rear fenders are that midnight blue color. I do believe this is going to be the perfect canvas for my graphics, which you'll see coming up a little bit later in the video. All right, so you now know what color plastics I decided to go with. Switching from the traditional Yamaha blue to the 2014 SE Midnight Blue. Oh, it's gonna be so cool. And guys, today I just picked up the next piece to the puzzle, which is not a high chair, rather it is my powder coated parts. Yes, my powder coated parts are all done. I am so excited to review what color I decided to go with. A ton of work went into this project. I had a local guy do all the work for me. That includes stripping, sandblasting, and powder coating all these parts. His quality is second to none. I'm really impressed with how everything came out. So let's go ahead and start unwrapping. Alright, as you can see, I decided to go with bronze for my powder coat color, and man, did it come out awesome. Now, this is not just your ordinary bronze. No, this is called Super Root Beer Bronze, which features a deep bronze metallic. And it almost looks like milk chocolate in person. It just came out so good. I have my front bumper, my Nerf bars. Here we have my center and rear subframes, front and rear wheel hubs, cam cover, water pump cover, back bar. The exhaust tips, oh, this is gonna look awesome with my new black exhaust cans. Handlebar clamps, brake lever. And right here, so this is my swing arm. I decided to get this powder coated black. I think it would be a pretty cool contrast with bronze, plus my A arms are currently black as well. So kind of stick to that theme. But yeah, this bronze, I think it's gonna look awesome with my midnight blue plastics. I mean, you can't really go wrong with bronze and blue, right? So here we are. I'm just about ready for reassembly. Everything is here to get the project across the finish line. I have my powder coated parts I've cleaned up, which includes my radiator, which I sprayed high heat black. I have some new parts, of course my new plastics. Take a look at my new seat cover. I think it will match my plastics much better compared to the old seat cover. Also, check out my exhaust headers. I got these puppies all shined up and ready to rock and roll. Now you may be wondering what is inside the box. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my custom graphics from Dirt Fiend has arrived. So as you can see, there's a ton of work ahead of me, so let's get to it. got the exhaust headers on. Again, they're all shined up and ready to go. All right, this is a big one. Next part will be the center stop frame. So let's get it. Time for a status update. Reassembly is going well. Definitely making some solid progress. As you can see, both subframes are in place. Also took quite a bit of time going through my wiring harness. Again, this is, stock with the bike, so it's pushing 17, 18 years old. And there were definitely some bare spots, some exposed copper wire that was showing. Last thing you want to experience is chasing down an electrical issue, and it's just one tiny wire that's grounding to the frame. Check out my exhaust pipes. I went ahead and threw on the bronze tips. That black on bronze is super sick. So next item on the list is the swing arm. So I have a new set of bushings that I'm going to go ahead and get installed into the swing arm. So I'm going to go ahead and get this pressed in with my homemade press machine, I guess you can say. All right, we got the boys in the house. We have Mr. Keith McCain, as well as JMC 700R, lending a hand on the 700 project. So we got the swing arm mounted. Next, we're gonna go ahead and mount this sick L-cut rear shock. All right, check it out. The swing arm is installed. And I am digging the contrast between the bronze and the black. So not only the swing arm is installed, but I do have some new swing arm pivot bearings, as well as some new axle bearings. Right here is a new sprocket hub. As we move to the other side, this is a new brake hub and rear brake rotor. So looking fresh on the rear end. So moving on, as I talked about earlier in the video, unfortunately I let my rear brake pads go down to metal, and it just destroyed my old rear brake rotor. So like I said, that's been replaced. We're going to go ahead and throw on a set of EBC brakes. I really do like the EBC brand. These brake pads seem to hold up really well over time. So let's go ahead and get those thrown on, and then once completed, we'll install the caliper back on the swing arm. Alright, got the rear brake caliper mounted as well as the DRW brake rotor guard. Next on the agenda is to install the FCI intake. This will go right here. We got the FCI box installed with the filter as well. It's coming along. Hopefully here not too long we'll have plastics on it. So stay tuned. All right, it is the next day and check out the Raptor. It is really coming together. The boys were over last night and just a huge shout out to my cousins, Keith and Jesse McCain. They were a huge help. But check it out. We have the Nerf bars installed as well as the Nerf bar netting. As you can see, we have the rear fender installed. I'm loving the contrast between the bronze and the blue. It's looking awesome. As we move to the rear, we have the dual exhaust system mounted, as well as the Team Alba rear grab bar. Underneath, you can see I have my Elka shock reservoir mounted. So we're getting close, getting really close. Next on my list, I want to go ahead and get this rear cover installed. It can be a little bit tricky getting these tabs mounted to these prongs on the grab bar. So hopefully it's not too bad. But my goal today, I really want to get my front fenders installed. This will give me a pretty good idea of what to expect for the overall look. So again, we're getting close. Stay tuned. Man, this midnight blue with the super root beer bronze is coming out great. Loving the contrast between the two colors. I also drilled out a hole for my key. I like to have my key mounted here on the side of the fender, as well as my toggle switch where I can switch between amber and white for my Resto Quad headlights. But fitment was pretty good. With these being OEM plastics, really had no issues with things lining up. So next, move on to the seat cover. I'm going to go ahead and put my new seat cover on my seat. I did buy a staple gun, which is air powered. So the plastic on these seats are pretty thick. So hopefully this staple gun has enough power to get the job done. My graphics came out so awesome. I have to say I'm very impressed. So I had the graphics kit done by Durfine, and they just hit it out of the park. This is their Raptor 700 Program Edition, and this was printed on their special chrome material, which what it does is any white that you have will turn into chrome. Pretty sweet. I also had quite a bit of customization done to the kit, such as adding my logo, Raptor Ruckus. So the goal with this graphics kit was to get the blue to match with my new plastics, the 2014 SE Midnight Blue plastics. I have to say they did a great job, matches very well. And then to also contrast that with a bronzish gold, which that came out really well. Not sure if the camera is picking it up, but this chrome material just really shines in the light. It's pretty crazy. So again, very impressed. Can't wait to get these graphics on. In fact, I have already started. So if you take a look at the nose of the Raptor, already have some graphics on. Like I said, they match the blue very well to the plastics. And I think the contrast between, you know, kind of this lighter bronze in the graphics and the darker bronze for the powder coating, it's gonna look really nice. So, if you've ever done graphics before, you know it's quite tedious work. So let's get to it. Last step. So now that the project is completed, just kind of reflecting and looking back, honestly, I'm not sure if I would change anything. I think it all came together looking better than what I was expecting. I'm glad that I decided to go with the black swing arm. I was kind of going back and forth between, do I have it bronze, do I have it black? But black has a really cool contrast with the bronze and ties into the project really well. I'm happy with the color choice, choosing the Midnight Blue 2014 SE plastics. It just really complements the bronze very well. And of course the bronze really shines on this project. So I'm happy with the color choices. I mean, of course, with any major project, you're going to come across some hiccups from time to time, and we definitely experienced some of those, but overall, I can't complain. It was a very smooth project. Now, to be honest, at first I was a little worried about the different tones of bronze and how that would all come together. Originally, my plan was to match everything, but as the project went on, I decided to go with some slightly different tones of bronze, and I was a little worried that they would kind of be at odds with each other, but to be honest, it all ties in so well. I think that the different tones really complement each other and just adds more uniqueness to this Raptor 700 build. So I want to shout out Dirt Fiend, who did my graphics kit. They really knocked it out of the park. They were able to customize my kit with all the different brands and parts I use on my Raptor. They were able to add my logo and then also make this special color theme that goes with my project. Also, their chrome printing material just looks amazing in person. It has so much gloss, a lot of metallic. It just really shines in the light and definitely makes this a unique build. So thank you, Dirt Fiend. Also, I want to shout out Mike at Premium Powder. He did my powder coating and just top quality work. He took a lot of time and put a lot of effort into powder coating my parts, which were definitely on the rougher side. So thank you to Mike. I love this super root beer color from Prismatic Powders. I think it goes with my theme really well and has just a ton of metallic. So again, thank you, Mike. You did a fantastic job on the powder coating. Shout out to Rocky Mountain ATV. That's who I ordered my plastics through. Great customer service. The prices were very competitive and my plastics showed up within a week, which is awesome. I mean, these are 2014 special edition plastics, which I'm surprised they even make those still. So thank you to Rocky Mountain ATV. I want to shout out my cousins Keith and Jesse McCain. They provided some extra hands to help me with this build. Definitely a huge help, and you can follow Jesse at JMC700R. I want to thank my wife, of course. We have a 7-month-old girl, and she's a whole project of her own, so I couldn't do it without her. And of course, I want to thank the Lord for giving me this opportunity to do this build. It's just been a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So again, that's the wrap on this Raptor 700 makeover. Now it's time to get it dirty, so I'll see you out on the trails.